like.
You're not gonna smell it?
No, we gotta go to the bathroom.
All right, come on, sit down.
Small world. I don't ever think I've been.
Yeah.
Look ahead.
Part of Steamboat, right?
You didn't see her on space. Right here.
hueco nomás.
Oh, there you go.
She's being a diva.
Wow, how cool.
We're gonna call Dad and tell him that we can take one more around.
Okay, I'll see you guys. I'm gonna take the black stroller.
Bridget stroller.
Yeah.
Okay. Watch your fingers, boys. Okay. Go on. Walk, walk, walk.
Some curves. I, your circus ringmaster, now present for you the one, the only Casey Jr. In a moment, he is going to take the wild animals, that's you, on a trip around Storybook Land. For a safe trip, please stay seated in your cages on cars while we're rolling. And keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. Oh, and remember to watch your children too. All aboard! Bienvenidos. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentados y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los niños. Gracias. Now, Casey, let's get this show on the road, or track. All aboard! All aboard!
Maybe a different month.
All aboard! Let's go! Casey Jr.'s coming down the track with a smoky stack. They're perfect Now, as we say to the animals, that's the end of the lion. Fantasyland! Fantasyland Station!
Come on, babe. No. It's all good.
We're not going to do it.
Look, the last one I thought was going to be scary. It was pretty good. And you think this one's
Let me go put it really fast.
You guys ready to go grab the
I know, right?
What can no do, man?
I really appreciate it. Definitely, it's like a spirit ride. So it's like, oh, we did the background.
Quit reading it. I'm not. No more.
Which ride are we going to?
I can see it making that.
They were. Look at me when I said it. Ang, I want to do.
Don't make fun of people. It's all wrong.
Oh, wait, Jessica, I wanted to see
Oh, yeah, fold
Well, I was going to say we're going to go to Frontierland anyway.
Corn dog. Found it.
I love it.
Amen. Yes.
What is that?
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Fantasyland Opera House. I'd like to invite everyone to the back lobby to experience our special presentation about Frederick Douglass. This 9-minute video was produced by the National Geographic Society and will be preceding our main presentation of Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. As a friendly reminder, open food and beverages are not permitted inside the theater, as well as strollers. If you do have a child stroller, please park your outside the main entrance doors. We also like to reserve the center portion of our theaters for our guests in wheelchairs, ACVs, and members of their party. They can access these seats by going through the center doors right below the brass window. Again, folks, please come to the back lobby. Our video screens right on the fireplace on having a presentation. Once that's over, the opening doors of the theater is Lincoln awaits.
Enter the theater for great moments with Mr. Lincoln. We'd like to tell you the story of an unlikely friendship that transformed America forever.
We saw ourselves gradually lifted from the depths of slavery to the heights of liberty and manhood. Though we waited long, we saw all this and more.
Abraham Lincoln is known as the Great Emancipator, but the moniker wasn't earned overnight. It would take the tireless work of the abolitionist movement, led by Frederick Douglass, who himself was born enslaved, to guide Lincoln towards the cause of freedom.
I am alike familiar with the whip and chain of slavery, and the lash and sting of public neglect and scorn, that my back is marked with the one, and my soul is fettered with the other.
After years of opposition, these two giants would find common ground and change the course of history. 10 years before the Emancipation Proclamation was enacted,
if all earthly power were given me, I should not know what to do as to the existing institution.
Oh, had I the ability, and could I reach the nation's ear, I would today pour out a fiery stream of biting ridicule, blasting reproach, withering sarcasm, and stern rebuke. For it is not light that is needed, but fire. It is not the gentle shower, but thunder.
Frederick Douglass never had a pair of pants or shoes until he was about 6 or 7 years old. He would sleep head first in an old corn sack with his feet hanging out on cold winter nights to try and keep himself warm.
Teaching the enslaved to read was illegal, so young Frederick secretly traded what little food he had in exchange for reading lessons.
It just shows how much he understood how education was going to be his key to freedom.
And a key to freedom it was. At the age of 20, Douglass made a daring escape and went north, settling in Massachusetts. There he soared. From orator,
the one cannot be truly free, while the other is a slave.
To newspaper editor,
truth is of no color.
And best-selling author.
From that moment, I understood the pathway from slavery to freedom.
He was the central voice of the abolitionist movement.
He had this natural gift for communication. He was eloquent. He was charismatic.
There wasn't a venue, a building large enough to hold people who wanted to hear him.
Would you have me argue that man is entitled to liberty? That he is the rightful owner of his own body? Must I argue the wrongfulness of slavery? At a time like this, scorching irony, not convincing argument, is needed.
Much of Douglass's irony was directed towards Washington, D.C. and Abraham Lincoln, the anti-slavery president who took office just as the Civil War began in 1861.
Anti-slavery is very different than being an abolitionist. It was very gradual that most anti-slavery candidates believed in the abolition of slavery.
I do not suppose that ultimate extinction would occur in less than 100 years at the least.
That would have put the end to slavery in 1958. And for Frederick Douglass, that's outrageous.
Mr. Lincoln is quite a genuine representative of American prejudice, and far more concerned for the preservation of slavery.
Douglass was relentless in his fight for freedom, and with the steady drumbeat of the abolitionist movement in his ear, Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, freeing enslaved people in the southern states, and for the first time, making it legal for all black men to fight in the Civil War. These new soldiers injected the Union Army with much needed manpower, but still, they faced discrimination and disparity.
Douglass is so outraged that he makes a trip to DC and decides he wants to meet with Lincoln himself.
To his surprise, Lincoln agreed to see him immediately.
He was ushered up past all of the people that were waiting to see Lincoln that day. And just imagine this visual of this black man just bounding up the steps and people are looking at him like, who is that?
Lincoln begins the conversation and he says, hello, Mr. Douglass, essentially. It's good finally to meet you. I've read your writings a lot. I know you've been very critical of me.
Their one-on-one left a lasting impression on both men, and Lincoln vowed to improve the conditions for black soldiers.
My whole interview with the president was gratifying and did much to assure me that slavery would not survive the war and that the country would survive both slavery and war.
A year later, it is Lincoln who needs Douglass's help.
He feels he's going to lose re-election, essentially says, I need you. I think the war is going badly.
Lincoln entrusted Douglass with creating a plan for aiding the escape of enslaved people from rebel territory so that they could join the Union cause.
Douglass writes a detailed letter to Lincoln spelling out his vision of these special forces.
He did not let me feel for a moment that there was any difference in the color of our skins. The president is a most remarkable man.
With Douglass's support, Lincoln would go on to turn the tide of the war and win re-election. The following year, Douglass returned to Washington once more to attend the inauguration.
Now in this multitude of elite of the land, I felt myself a man among men.
It's the first time a president devotes most of the speech to African Americans.
1/8 of the whole population were colored slaves.
Frederick Douglass heard his words and his language in Lincoln's address.
Until every drop of blood drawn with the lash shall be paid by another drawn with the sword.
The work that he had done over so many years, he was now hearing this at a very important moment in time in the nation's history.
Douglass is invited to the White House for a reception, sees Douglass enter and yells out,
"Here comes my friend, Frederick Douglass. There is no man in the country whose opinion I value more than yours."
Mr. Lincoln, that was a sacred effort.
Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom.
Frederick Douglass spoke truth to power, and he never stopped fighting for his people, and he understood that the struggle continued. He said, without struggle,
there is no progress. Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did, and it never will.
And now, here is Walt Disney to talk a little more about the nation's 16th president, Abraham Lincoln.
Ever since I was a youngster, I've had a great personal admiration for Abraham Lincoln. So when we decided to bring to Disneyland's visitors some great moments in Mr. Lincoln's life, we began an exhaustive research. We wanted to bring to the people of today the inspiring words of the man who held this nation together during its moment of greatest crisis, the Civil War. To start with, we were fortunate in being able to secure this life mask of the 16th president. How do we get this, Blaine?
This is actually a copy of an original life mask by the sculptor Leonard Volk.
Before Lincoln was president.
Before Lincoln was president.
Before he had a beard.
That's right.
During our exhaustive research into Lincoln's life, we studied his mannerisms, his gestures, and even his voice characteristics to create a faithful likeness of this honored man. The final result is so lifelike that you might find it hard to believe. Now let's go into the Opera House and listen carefully to the words of Mr. Lincoln, spoken by him a century ago, but which still apply today to free men everywhere.
If you would now please pass through the doors leading to our theater, we welcome you to Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln.
All right, folks, it's showtime. I'd like to invite you over to the back lobby. I'll be opening the doors to the theater momentarily. But safety first, folks. There's a red line right inside this car, but make sure you stand on the far side of this red line. There's red line because these automatic doors will be opening out towards you. Again, as a friendly reminder, open food and beverages are not permitted inside the theater. So if you do have, please either finish it, discard it, or place it right inside your backpack. We also like to reserve the center portion of our theaters for our guests in wheelchairs, ECVs, and members of the party. You can access these seats by going through the center doors right below the brass eagle. Now, as you enter the theater, please watch your step. We do have step ramps on uneven floors inside. Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is the reason you say stand behind the red lines because somebody being banged by the doors?
No, because when the doors open, you're going to be hit by the doors.
No, but is everybody like, walked into the door and the doors just slammed them in the face?
Yeah, it would. That's why you have to be very careful. So stay behind the red light. Don't enter until the doors are fully open, please. And a warm welcome to the Disneyland Opera House, folks. Not to preserve the dignity of this presentation, we ask a few things from you. That there be no eating, no drinking, and no smoking while inside this theater. Also, folks, for courtesy for all the wonderful guests around you, please no flash photographies, no video lighting inside, no cell phones for me, please. Now, during the presentation, if you need to leave early for any reasons, no worries, folks. We'll use the exit doors on the far right side of the theater. Even the exact same doors should be used at the conclusion of our presentation. Now, our original presentation first debuted in 1964, New York's World Fair. At that time, Walt Disney introduced 4 new attractions. It's a Small World, the Carousel Progress, which is still played over inside Disney World, the Magic Skyway, and of course, Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, which came to Disneyland only 1 year later in 1965. Now, this being one of Disney's treasures, not only because Mr. Lincoln happened to be the very first human audio animatronics. The original presentation was directed by Walt Disney himself. So folks, to the magic of Disney, I want everyone to sit back and let's all enjoy the great moments with Mr. Lincoln.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln.
Spacious skies, for and
This was the American dream, the prayer for the future. But that golden goal was not to be had without cost. The American way was not gained in a day. It was born in adversity, forged out of conflict, perfected and proven only after long experience and trial. In all of history, no man was dedicated to this dream more than the 16th President of these United States, Abraham Lincoln. Here in his own words is what he once wrote about himself. For at that time, very few people outside Illinois knew very much about this man from the prairie.
I was born February 12th, 1809, in Hardin County, Kentucky. My father removed from Kentucky to what is now Spencer County, Indiana, in my 8th year. It was a wild region, with many bears and other wild animals still in the woods. There I grew up. I was large for my age, and had an axe put into my hands at once. And from that to my 23rd year, was almost constantly handling that most useful instrument. I think that the aggregate of all my schooling did not amount to 1 year. At 21, I came to Illinois. Thought of trying to study law. Rather thought I could not succeed at that without better education. I borrowed some law books, took them home, and went at it in good earnest. In 1854, the law profession had almost superseded the thought of politics in my mind, when the repeal of the Missouri Compromise aroused me as I had never been before. What I have done since then is pretty well known. If any personal description of me is thought desirable, it may be said I am in height, 6 feet 4 inches, nearly, lean in flesh, weighing on an average of 180 pounds, dark complexion, with coarse black hair and gray eyes, and no other marks or brands recollected. Yours very truly, A. Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln became president faced with the terrible threat of civil war, a thing he dreaded, yet a calamity he was prepared to meet if he must.
Without union, the Constitution is only a piece of paper. I know there is a God, and that he hates injustice and slavery. I see the storm coming. I know his hand is in it. If he has a place and work for me, and I think he has, I believe I'm ready. And with God's help, I shall not fail.
April 12, 1861, Fort Sumter. The cannon spoke for war. Civil war, violent, devastating. Now had come the reckoning, the supreme test that would decide whether a republic founded on liberty could survive the terrible strife of men's passions.
Two brothers on their way, two brothers on their way, two brothers on their way. One wore blue and one wore gray. One wore blue and one wore gray as they marched along their way. The fife and drum began to play, all on a beautiful morning. One was gentle, one was kind. One was gentle, one was kind. One came home, one stayed behind. A cannonball don't pay no mind. A cannonball don't pay no mind. If you're gentle or if you're kind. It don't think of the folks behind. All on a beautiful morning. All on a beautiful morning.
Fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation, or any nation so conceived and so dedicated, can long endure.
10 brief sentences. So simple, so direct. Abraham Lincoln had not expected his words to live beyond their temporary moment. But time and history would dictate otherwise. And so today, his Gettysburg Address is immortal, a rich and treasured part of our country's heritage. We pay tribute here not to a man who lived a century ago, but to an individual who lives today in the hearts of all freedom-loving people. His prophetic words are as valid for our time as they were for his. And now, the skills of the sculptor and the talents of the artist will let us relive great moments with Mr. Lincoln.
The world has never had a good definition of the word liberty. And the American people just now are much in want of one. We all declare for liberty, but in using the same word, we do not all mean the same thing. What constitutes the bulwark of our liberty and independence? It is not our frowning battlements, our bristling sea coasts. These are not our reliance against tyranny. Our reliance is in the love of liberty, which God has planted in our bosoms. Our defense is in the preservation of the spirit which prizes liberty as the heritage of all men, in all lands.
Stop, these are so cute.
starts at 9:30. Oh.
Tenemos dos fotos ahí. Mira que pretty. Thank you.
Next, like a second one up?
¿Quieres que te la tome?
No worries. If you want me to take it, I can take it out. Yeah. No lo tomo.
Very good.
All right. Everyone go ahead and look right over here. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, good.
This is where I've been before. Oh, I know what he wants. Evan wants a churro, a bacon churro. Oh. As long as those bacon.
have a churro.
Hello, everyone. This is the Mickey and Friends and Pixar Pals Tram, traveling to the Mickey and Friends and Pixar Pals parking structure.
I know I think you want to make it whole, but I've seen a lot of little special bits. There we go. I see it mostly with the little
Children may not ride in strollers. Strollers should be as a courtesy to other families, we ask that you not eating, drinking, We'll begin our trip shortly. Thank you.
He finally smiled. Good one. With a nice smile. Why?
Alrighty, folks, final call for boarding, walk forward, friends.
But you eat it and it's like hard.
It only took 12 hours, Kate. Look.
Alright,
There's another photograph.
Boarding, welcome
It
aboard.
only took 12 hours.
You got God bless I am.
Alrighty, friends, once again, if you have to cross those yellow lines, please not do so. Know that you guys will be here shortly. Once again, friends, there is no more boarding at this time, but another show will be here shortly. Please remain behind those yellow lines and those yellow buttons.
Spend more money.
For all my friends on board, please remain seated as this tram get ready to depart. And driver, you're clear.
For your safety, remain seated with the doors closed, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside while the tram moves. Provide your children.
Para su seguridad, favor de permanecer sentados con las puertas cerradas, sosteniendo sus manos, brazos, pies y piernas adentro mientras el tranvía está en movimiento. Y vigilen a sus niños. Gracias.
Please hold on to hats, glasses, or any loose items that could fall from the tram. If an article should fall, please stay seated until the next stop and inform the nearest cast member. Thank you.
Goodbye, campsite.
Now he's like, no. Bye.
Bye, Disneyland.
His eyes are still dripping. He feels better, but his eyes are still dripping.
Oh, okay. Hi, puppy.
Hi, hey.
That's don't work.
They
just released
it. Should be me.
So I think they just released them too because they've never made Indiana Jones years.
They look, they're so cute. She doesn't want to wear them. Oh, look, here. They're so cute.
If you will be returning to the park later today, please keep your tickets to re-enter. Leaving your guest parking area and returning later today, show today's parking ticket to re-enter the parking area.
You have that Disneyland too.
As you travel through our resort, we'd like to remind you that our guest parking areas have a speed limit of 15 miles per hour. The alley preserves this speed limit and use the right of way to Disneyland vehicles, whether you're walking or driving.
They should do that for kids, make your own way.
We are now approaching the Disneyland and Pixar Pals Tram stop, which serves the Mickey and Friends and Pixar Pals parking structure. Please remain seated with the doors closed until the tram comes to a full stop. And gather your belongings, lower your head, and watch your step, exiting to the driver's right. On behalf of all our cast members, we'd like to thank you for joining us. Be sure to buckle up and have a happy and safe journey home. This tram will be returning to the main entrance plaza in just a few moments.
Alrighty, folks, we're arriving at the Mickey and Friends and Pixar Pals parking structure. Please remain seated until the tram comes down. Before you please stop. So I've indicated that it takes the exit will be exiting to your driver's right-hand side and the driver's right-hand side only. Please remain seated. So I've indicated that it takes the exit to your driver's right. Please remain seated. Please wait.
Our
arriving at the Mickey and Friends and Picture House parking structure. Please remain seated until we come to that point.
We gotta go to the top of the parking lot.
Next exit will be at the driver's right-hand side and the driver's right-hand side only. Please remain seated, please. Right.
And you guys come back when?
Well, yeah, because
Once again, folks, please remain seated until the tram comes to that point. Please stop. Please, please. Alright, folks, friendly reminder before exiting, watch your heads, watch your heads, watch your steps, and your pockets and exits to the right-hand side. Thank you.
Yeah.